What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. The latest Arsenal news, including transfer news and team news in the build-up to this weekend's game against Brighton. That I think I call every Arsenal game now a must-win game, but it literally is, especially after that Crystal Palace defeat, which was kind of like our safety net. That one's gone. And now we have to win this weekend against an out-of-form Brighton. Big up to each and every one of you for tuning in today. Happy Thursday, wherever you are in the world. We are live on YouTube and on Twitch, so big up the Twitch gang as well if you're tuned in. Thank you very much to everybody that tuned in for the watch-along last night on YouTube and Twitch. Brilliant game. Chelsea got slapped up 3-1 by Real Madrid. Benzi was on fire. And a great game, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. To be honest, the Arsenal game's probably the worst game that I've watched all week, to be honest. I've enjoyed every other game more than the Arsenal game. But yeah, what a game that was. Benzi was on fire. Truly one of the best strikers in the world. And really enjoyed that. We got a busy day today as well. We'll be doing a watch-along tonight. West Ham against Lyon. That will be on YouTube and Twitch as well. And then once Twitch gets settled in a little bit, we will kind of do separate content for YouTube and separate content for Twitch. At the moment, we're just kind of dual streaming just to build up the community and get the numbers up. Big up everyone watching on Twitch and everyone watching on YouTube. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitch. You can type my name in and find me now, actually. I think now I've done one stream on there. I show up in search. We're nearly at 1,000. What was interesting, what I didn't know, people, is, yeah, let me stand up for 8 in Tottenham. I have to do that. What I didn't realise, I did a stream on there yesterday, and because I hadn't clicked something that says, like, save my stream, the stream just disappeared. As I said, I don't know too much about Twitch. I'm trying to figure it out. So actually, the stream isn't even showing up on there now. So this will officially be the first one that shows up on there. Now I know about them settings. So big up everyone watching. We're nearly at 1,000 on Twitch. So make sure you follow me on there if you haven't already. And we're nearly at 43,000 on YouTube. So subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video and all of that good stuff. People, Fit said, gutted about Ten Hag going to the Manx. Yet another Arsenal have astoundingly missed out on. Our club has no ambition. I mean, the news broke last night while we were doing the game. And I have to admit that one got me a little bit. Listen, any manager can go anywhere and flop. It happens. You can be a top manager and it doesn't work out. But I've got to be honest, Ten Hag to Manchester United is a big appointment in my opinion. I hate to say it because I enjoy Man United's struggle because it gives Arsenal a chance of doing better. But I just think Ten Hag is the right appointment for Manchester United, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I'm sure United fans are optimistic right now. Buenos Aires, Gunnar, buenos dias, brother. Listening from work. Hope all is well. Blessed. Big up yourself, bro. Are we getting Zaha? We'll talk about him shortly. Asanda, Wilfried Zaha linked with a move to Arsenal. Is it too late? Should we have done this 2-3 years ago? Or is it not too late? He ripped us apart on Monday. Is there still something there? Big up the C unit. We're expanding the unit, people. We're going worldwide. Tammy, are you doing a watch-along on Saturday? Probably. As you know, people, I don't like streaming the 3 o'clock kickoffs because I often get a stream that is behind a lot of people in different parts of the world. You may be able to get it live. So often my reactions aren't there because I'll see the chat and know that we've scored already, and I don't like doing it, but I may do it. I may do it this week. The next 2 games actually are Saturday at 3 o'clock, which is a bit of a downer for me because the content I don't feel is quite as good. But I will probably do the watch along for this one, if I'm being honest. But like I said, big up everyone tuning in. Ruben said it's too late to get Zaha. We've had our chance. I still cannot believe Villarreal beat Bayern last night. I mean, how unbelievable is that, people? Unai Emery, thrown out of Arsenal, not good enough. Deemed not good enough. Goes to Villarreal, tiny little club compared to Arsenal. And he wins the Europa League. And he's now in the Champions League quarter-final. And they beat Bayern Munich 1-0 last night. And I watched the highlights. I mean, I didn't see the whole game, but a lot of people in the comments were saying they dominated, and the highlights looked like mostly Villarreal. They could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that game. I have to admit, I would expect Bayern to beat them in the home leg. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Should he have been given more time? I don't know. He lost the dressing room, according to many, and that was the problem. Imagine if Emery had Zaha and Nkunku at Arsenal, 2 players he wanted. He also wanted Fabinho. Abby said, watching the stream in both YouTube and Twitch. I appreciate the support, everyone. Really appreciate it. 3 points desperately needed against Brighton, Mallow. 100% desperately needed. Eshaw 1989 said, I think you should do Arsenal therapy on Twitch so we can watch clips back and review. Being able to watch clips, etc. would add an extra to the Arsenal therapy. YouTube seems to be easier for syncing up watch-alongs. That's an interesting one. We're definitely going to do some stuff over on Twitch because, certain things you can do on there make it a little bit easier. Fraser said, unfortunately for Unai is that he lost the players and even the front office. No matter who you are, you won't succeed. It's sad, isn't it? Because they didn't really show belief in a manager that has won, at the time he'd won 3 Europa Leagues. He's won 4 now. He was an experienced winning manager and they didn't back him. Yet they've gone all in on a manager that had never managed. You have to wonder what changed their mind. Why did Emery not get the same level of support that Mikel Arteta got? I remember when Emery tried to drop Mesut Ozil, everybody went crazy. When Arteta did it, everybody backed him. You have to wonder why they made that decision. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, gaming, I'm hoping to get started this weekend. FIFA. Team's just about up to scratch now, I think. I didn't download GTA, but I'm going to try and do it today. I can get it for free, though. I did search it, so we will have that. Here's a question. When do you think we will actually compete? I mean, if you're talking compete for the title, I think we're years off it. I would say years. I don't think we're even 2 years away from Liverpool and Manchester City. If they've got Pep and Klopp, I think we're still probably a year to 2 years just from getting to Chelsea, if I'm being honest. And that's if they slow down with Abramovich going. I would say Liverpool and Man City, we're 3-4 years behind them. And that's if we invest heavily as well, which you never know with this owner. Press conference reaction on Twitch so we can actually see what he says. That would be legit. I can't lie. That would be legit. Right, people, let's get into our bits and bobs for today. Big Tree Trunk saying decades. Listen, I've always said with Stan Kroenke, we'll never win the Premier League. That's my opinion. I don't think Arsenal will win the Premier League with Stan Kroenke in charge because he has no ambition to win the title. To win a title, you have to, believe that you're going to win the title and have that attitude that you're going to win the title. I don't think that Stan Kroenke is even trying to win the title. Winning a title costs money, people. But hey, it is what it is. Right, let's move on, people. Let's move on. Anthony said, let's not forget Arteta also lost the dressing room, hence the 2 8th-place finishers and no European football for the first time in 25 years. The only difference is that the board backed Arteta. I think they just decided. Emery probably went to the board and said, this dressing room is toxic. And they thought it's easier to sack him than sell 8 or 9 players. I think when Arteta came and said the same thing, they probably thought, actually, maybe it is the dressing room. So Emery was probably right as well. But they just didn't back him for it, and that was the problem. That was the problem. We'll never compete with Arteta as manager. Fitz, man, you could be right. We'll have to see. I'm not sure he'll ever win a title at Arsenal. I don't think he's at that level. Sir Raphael said, Villa v Tottenham watch along. Yeah, more than likely we'll do that straight after the Arsenal game, to be honest, on Saturday. So, right, let's get into the first bit of news today, people. Transfer news, business. And we're going to start off with Wilfried Zaha. Now, this was the main topic of discussion. Wilfried Zaha, he always divides opinion, to be honest, amongst the Arsenal fan base, which is why I thought it would be an interesting conversation. And that is Arsenal on red alert with Crystal Palace open to transfer offers for Wilfried Zaha with Elise and Eze, the future. Now, Wilfried Zaha has 1 year left on his contract this summer. It's believed he's going to make one last effort to get that big move that we clearly know he wanted. Of course, he went to Manchester United when he was young, didn't work out for him. And a couple of years ago, Emery tried to sign him, and the club didn't want to pay the money. Obviously, I think I've said the story a few times anyway. I had information surrounding this. Obviously, I'm good friends with Yannick Bolasie, who was at Palace, and listen, Wilf was desperate to come to Arsenal. He's a boyhood Arsenal fan. Emery wanted him ahead of Pepe, and the club wouldn't pay the money up front because I believe Palace wanted about 60 million up front. They wanted 80 million overall for him, where obviously with Nicolas Pepe, we only paid 15 million up front initially. The rest was, some Klarna business, buy now, pay later. Wilfried Zaha is 29 years of age. He's on course to have his best goal-scoring season in the Premier League. That was previously 11. That was last season. He's got 10 goals this season in 25 games. And he could be available for £40 million this summer. I want to know your thoughts and opinions. Now, a lot of the story is surrounding Pepe being allowed to leave, which is interesting because Pepe is the guy we signed ahead of Wilfried Zaha. Would you say it's too late to buy Zaha? He's 29. We're on this Project Youth where we're looking for young players. And a 29-year-old, and I'm going to admit Wilfried Zaha has got a big ego. He believes in himself massively. Would he affect the dynamics of the dressing room in terms of his attitude and his ego? Would it rub off on some of these younger players? Or do you just look at it and think, do you know what? He's a danger man. He always rips us apart. He's in double figures this season. 40 million in the modern market is cheap for Premier League wingers. Would you just take a chance on him and say, you know what, I don't care, 29, still probably got 3 years at least. Would you take him? I mean, let's be honest. He's good enough to play for Arsenal. We saw that the other day. He's good enough to play for Arsenal. It's the whole dynamics. Is it too expensive for a 29-year-old? He's on 140 grand a week at Palace as well. So we're going to put a poll up, in fact. We'll do the poll. Richie said Zaha walks into this team with no boots on. Broad said you need guys who will keep him in check, to be honest. And again, you make a good point there, Broads. I feel like Zaha and Mikel Arteta would clash. But I don't know. I could be totally wrong. He gets on well with Patrick Vieira, but maybe Vieira just has that authority and respect that he was such a big player. Rowan said, same as Grealish, only looks good at Palace, so you think he's one of them players that needs to be big fish at a small pond rather than small fish at a big pond kind of thing. Too late, the ship has sailed, said South London's finest. Shibe said, nah, past his sell-by date, get Gakpo younger and better. Is he better, though? Sometimes from a distance, it's very easy to say, yeah, he looks brilliant in Holland. But sometimes these guys come to this country and it don't happen. At least with Zaha, he has that thing of, what he can do in the Premier League. I'm a bit like this with Gunnar 8. Gunnar 8 saying, I love Zaha, but it's too late. I'm going to put the poll up. Would you take Zaha for £40 million this summer? It's a tough one for me, I got to be honest, because he's just a player I've wanted at Arsenal for a long time. I'm kind of with Guna 8 that I think I think we've missed the boat. I think we should have signed him 2 years ago, when he was 27. I think signing him at 29 on big wages, and I just don't think Arteta could handle him either. First poll of the day, people. More polls than a strip club. Let me know. Would you sign Wilfried Zaha for £40 million this summer? Let's get some of your comments. Zach said he's 30 in November. Zaha walks into this team with slippers. I mean, that's the thing. It's funny because there were two reports from two ex-players. And Emmanuel Petit says Arsenal should not sign Wilfried Zaha because he thinks he will upset the dynamics of the dressing room. Paul Merson, on the other hand, said Arsenal need more aggression in their attack. He said we're too nice. And he said Zaha is the kind of aggressive player that we need. So it's kind of 50-50. It's only the age for me. If you could make him 2 years younger, I would sign him all day long. It's just because of the way he plays, I still think he could play well for another 2 or 3 years. It's a tricky one. I just think that my biggest problem would be Zaha and Arteta. That is where my worry would be. Jashar said, Yannick Bolasie, run down the wing for me. Yannick Bolasie. Big up Yannick, man. He's over in Turkey now. I honestly believe he could have had an even bigger career if it wasn't for injuries, man. Fitz said Zaha is a player we could get without European football. That's a good point because I know a lot of people in the comments are saying, get Gnabry, get Sterling. These are the kind of wingers that I want. The unfortunate thing is, if we land in the Europa League rather than the Champions League, there's no chance of getting Sterling. There's no chance of getting Serge Gnabry. So all of a sudden, you've got to go down a level in terms of the player that you want to sign. No disrespect to Zaha and Palace. Zaha would jump at the chance of coming to Arsenal, even in the Europa League. I believe he hasn't played in Europe for his whole career, apart from when he was at Manchester United. Gnabry and Nunes is the perfect window. Again, without Champions League, I doubt we could get those two. That would be the problem. Broad said Bolasie is a baller for the culture, 100%. Street football in the Prem at its finest. Daniel said 10 goals for a winger is good, especially at Palace. No disrespect. They're mid-table. I'm sure Zaha will get another 3 or 4 goals this season. So, hey, it is what it is. Weedy Marley said Zaha ain't no Benzema. So, yeah, what are you saying? He can't do it deep into his 30s. I saw a stat, actually, that Benzema, Zlatan and Ronaldo, I don't know how true this is, but their biggest goal-scoring seasons of their careers were in their 30s. Which, do we have to come away from this kind of thought process that, oh no, they're 30 or they're close to 30, they're finished? Because we do have that feeling in football nowadays. The general thing, even I'm saying it, boy, he's 30 in November, you can't sign him. But can you sign him? If he was good for 2 or 3 years at 40 million, you'd be happy with that. I don't know. I think certain players, it's different. The way they manage themselves, players where their game isn't necessarily built around speed, I think sometimes you can have them deeper into their career and into their 30s. Zach said Benzema has 37 in 36 games. He's absolutely unbelievable. And as I said, I think he played a certain way when Ronaldo was there. Which worked for him at the time and the team. Since Ronaldo's gone and he's had that added responsibility, he's truly shown how much of an unbelievable goal scorer he is. As I said, him and Mbappe are my 2 favourite strikers. Lamar said Zaha is more mature now. The Prem is too fast for that, in my opinion, said Connor. Atletico bought Suarez at 33, and I think he scored 20-plus goals. Benzema is one of the most underrated players of all time. I totally agree with that. I think he's an elite footballer. Vinyl London, Curtis checked the AG and right was when Arsenal signed him. Yeah, mid-20s, I believe. Come on, Curtly, we ain't getting Zaha, play him in Pepe's role. The problem with Zaha, and I tell you straight away, the problem with Zaha would be that Zaha would have to start. I don't believe Zaha would come to Arsenal and sit on the bench. He's going to want to play every week. Now, you got Martinelli, you got Smith-Rowe, you got Saka. Who are you sitting down out of those players to play Zaha, So I don't think that deal will happen, but intrigued to know what you think about Zaha, people. Nimbo said, enable your sub feature so you get more income every month. I want to sub to you. Bro, as I was saying yesterday, I was doing some reading about Twitch yesterday. I don't even know how you do that. Like I said, if anyone wants to let me know a bit of info about Twitch, drop it in the comments after the video or hit me up on Twitter, Curtis Shaw 9. DMs are open. I'm like a baby when it comes to Twitch, man. I don't know what's going on. Christopher said Aubameyang to Barca at 31. Exactly. He's probably going to finish as their top goal scorer this season. Let's see. Zaha would make Arsenal more direct and a different role for Martinelli. Where I do agree with what Paul Merson said is sometimes we're not explosive enough on the counter-attack. We're not quick enough. We're not direct enough. You know, and I do think Zaha can add that. But as people said, I just don't think the dynamic of him and Arteta would work. And I think because he's 29, I just don't think he would go for him, which is a shame. But good player. But yeah, we'll see. Broad said, do you feel it's because players over 30 generally get short-term contracts in turn, keeping them on their toes and producing good results? Yeah, possibly. This is something that Wenger kind of brought into football, didn't he? Where he was saying, you know, when you get to 30, you can only get 1 year contract. And I think that kind of fed around football that when you get to 30, you've got to kind of worry. Now, we've seen that from the wrong end, you know, in terms of people like Mesut Ozil, Willian, even Aubameyang, if you like, got to their 30s, signed for big money contracts and went downhill very quickly. You know, I think it's very much about the individual and their hunger. You know, Ronaldo and them Zlatan, they just want to play forever. So I feel like their hunger never declines. Where some players get comfortable, they think, I want to take my foot off the pedal a little bit now, and this is my retirement plan. Buenos Aires Gunnar said, Curtis, bro, you're like Arteta on Twitch, learning on the job. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm definitely like Arteta on Twitch, man. Yeah, it's a mindset thing. You can see it. There are certain players that you look at, you know, like Ronaldo, you think he would play for the rest of his life if he possibly could. You know, he looks like he never wants to retire. But his mentality is separate to probably anybody that I've ever seen in football. So, yeah, you know, your Zahas and that, I don't know. But it's an interesting one. Let's end the poll. Let's end that poll. First poll of the day. And let's see what you had to say on that. It's a close one. Let's have a look. 51% of you said you would sign Wilfried Zaha. 49% say no. That is interesting because the comments were definitely not saying that. So we just about would get Zaha in. 51% of you would take him. Zaha or Sterling? Listen, I'd take Sterling, of course. The problem is he's on 300 grand a week and he wouldn't come to us, in my opinion, if we weren't in the Champions League. Connor said, to hell with Sterling and Zaha. Why aren't we looking at Vinicius Jr., Connor? Connor, my friend. Listen, I love your optimism. And you know, what I saw of Vinicius last night, he is going to be a superstar. He ripped Chelsea apart last night. But the interesting thing is, why would a player leave Real Madrid to come to Arsenal? You know, remove the fact you're an Arsenal fan. P said time him out. I'll let him off. You know, but why is a guy going to leave Chelsea, leave Real Madrid, who are in the Champions League quarter-final? They've just beaten Chelsea. They're top of La Liga. You know, it just don't quite work like that, Connor. I love your optimism, though. I love it. But he ain't coming to us. This is not Chelsea FIFA career mode, people. We didn't get a poll on Twitch. Does it not go on both? That's crazy, people. Told you. Give me time. Give me time to figure it all out, people. Fitz said, getting a player should not be based on if he gets on with the manager or not. This is one of the problems with Arteta. He puts himself before the club. I think he's put himself in a situation now where, because of the way Arteta's dealt with Ozil, Guendouzi, Aubameyang, the treatment of Pepe and things like that, I do think certain players would go, no, I don't like the way he dealt with him. Players talk, people. Football is a very small community, man. You know, there could be a player that we're trying to sign right now that has the same agent as Aubameyang, or, you know, he's got the same agent as Ozil or someone. And, oh, you know what? Let me speak to Ozil. What do you think about Arteta? Nah, bro, stay away from him. Boy, you know what? This team wants me. This is how things happen sometimes, people. Mike said, I've got an Amazon Prime sub sitting around doing nothing. Sort it, man. Bro, somebody messaged me about that. Again, I'll be totally honest, Mike. I don't know too much about it. People were telling me this, some Amazon Prime thing. Somebody said I need to get a Nightbot in the comments. I'm literally fresh out the womb when it comes to Twitch people. I'm like a newborn baby. I've got no idea. But people, hit me up, please. Hit up the DMs or put it in the comments after. Give me some advice. Nick said, Curtis, between Arsenal and Barcelona currently, who you think would win right now based on form? I think Barcelona would beat us, if I'm being totally honest. Pedri in midfield, Aubameyang up front, Ferran Torres and Dembele out wide. I don't think we'd beat Barcelona, to be honest. We just been spanked 3-0 to Palace. I got no right to say we're going to beat Barcelona. Yeah, I need a Twitch course. I can't lie. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription to use on any account you want for Twitch Prime, $5. Oh, appreciate it, man. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. I'll learn people. Pedri versus Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like Pedri or Xhaka. I think I know which one will win that battle. That is for damn sure. Hendon Guna said, I DM'd you a Twitch tutorial. Hey, big up, bro. Go and check that out after this. Let's move on to the next story of the day, people. More transfer news and another winger. A winger we've been linked with previously, and that is Marco Asensio from Real Madrid. He, again, has 1 year left on his contract. This seems to be a running theme with players now. Every player seems to let their contract run down. They all want that free transfer where the money goes in their pocket rather than to the club. Now, Asensio, Spanish international. We all know a few years ago this guy was being rated as one of the best young wingers in world football. But, of course, he had that major knee injury and it's held him back. It's held him back. He doesn't look quite the same player since. And it's believed that Carlo Ancelotti would be willing to let him go this summer. Asensio has just turned 26. Spanish international. He's only played... how many games has he played this season? Oh, no, that's Champions League. Apologies. Oh, no, he's played 25 games this season, scoring 8 goals, which isn't amazing, when you think he plays for Real Madrid and they're top of the league. And it's believed Real Madrid are willing to let him go. They're trying to clear the wage bill this summer. I think Bale's out of contract as well. Asensio, Isco. They're trying to get rid of a lot of these players. Man said Asensio. No, I don't even think this one needs a poll, to be honest. I think the majority will say exactly the same thing regarding him. Talented, yes. Injury prone. Brittle. Couldn't handle the Prem physically. And they want 32 million euros for him, which is about 25 million pounds. So, listen, with the week we've had in injuries, I would personally stay well away from Asensio. Is he talented? Of course, but for me, it's an absolute no-no. Like, this is more of a no than Wilfried Zaha for me, because this guy he's made out of candy floss. South London's finally said, hell no. Zach said, I'd rather get Zaha at 30 than him now. See, Zaha don't look as bad now, does he? What happened to getting any player in the world? Yeah, I wouldn't buy into that one, Tree Trunk, mate. I would not buy into that one. Why are we taking Madrid's leftovers? Maybe he's got a good link at Madrid, Arteta, so we can get their scraps. Yeah, smash the likes, people. 1,100 of you in the chat. Don't forget, we are live on Twitch as well. I don't know how many of you are watching on there. We had over 100 at times last night, which was amazing. A couple of bits of news as well. Member stream today, 4:30 p.m. UK time today. Member stream. I will put the link on the community page as soon as this stream finishes. So I want to see you on there, people. Talk to me about Kieran Tierney's injury, Partey's injury. Are we paying the price for not signing in January? And obviously the Crystal Palace disaster on Monday, and also looking ahead to the Brighton game. So 4:30 today, member stream. Link will be in the community page. And also 7:45 tonight, West Ham versus Lyon watch along. That'll be a chance for us to look at Houssam Aouar, who has a year left on his contract as well this summer. A lot of people are clamouring for this Paqueta as well, saying that he's a player that we should look at. So make sure you stay tuned, people. 4:30 member stream, 7:45 West Ham v Lyon watch along. Busy day again. Carney said we have to shop for second-rate players. We are not that big. Arteta thinks so, but we will be proven wrong in the summer. We lost out on Vlahovic, and it'll repeat. I think that we're not in the position that the manager maybe believes that we're in, because I find it hard to believe that if we're in the Europa League, that we're going to be able to sign like the top players. I don't think we can get Gnabry. I don't think we can get Darwin Núñez. I don't think we can get Raheem Sterling if we're in the Europa League, because Champions League clubs will make offers for those players. Now, why would any player leave a Champions League club to go to a Europa League club? It just doesn't make sense. And like I said, if we'd been out of the Champions League for a year, they may look at it and think, you know what, it's Arsenal, they're in London, maybe they support Arsenal. It's only been a year though, so they'll go back to the Champions League quickly. We've been out of the Champions League now, I think, for 4 years, without Champions League football. This ain't a phase. Like, this is where we are right now. Arsenal are a Europa League club. And obviously at the moment, we're not even in the Europa League. So if I can't help but feel like we have to get Champions League this year. And I've got to admit, people, I am concerned right now with what I am seeing. 5 this season. Yeah, there you go. And I keep saying it. And I said this yesterday. A lot of people were messaging me going, oh, don't panic. It's only one game, this, that, the other. I said, people, I'm not having this semi-meltdown because we lost to Crystal Palace. I'm having it because I feel like I've seen this story before. Arsenal, they do well. They get close to achieving something. They get injuries and the season unravels and we don't get top 4. We end up 5th. We end up 6th. A lot of people say, but you didn't expect us to get top 4 at the start of the season. And I agree with that. I also didn't expect Manchester United to be absolutely terrible and have to sack their manager. I didn't expect Tottenham to be terrible and have to sack their manager. With those 2 doors opening, we should have been the team to go and make the most of that, take advantage of that. If Tottenham finish 4th and we miss out, I think that's inexcusable for Arsenal, considering our manager's in his 3rd season at the club. He spent the most money in the summer. They've sacked their manager this season, and Harry Kane didn't even get going until about January. He had 5 goals, I think, by Christmas. So that's where my frustration is coming from, because I can already feel like our season can unravel itself. But at the same time, I can't press the panic button yet. We've got Brighton this Saturday. I believe we'll beat Brighton. Brighton are a bit of a mess at the moment. Although Welbeck and Mope will probably be fired up for the game. And Tottenham go to Aston Villa. So if the weekend goes the way we're hoping, we could be back up to 4th. But also what was more damaging is the fact they got a 7-goal turnaround over the weekend, people, We were 2 goals ahead of Tottenham going into the weekend's fixtures. They're now 5 goals ahead of us because they beat Newcastle 4-1 and we lost 3-0. So they gained 7 on goal difference. So it's in the balance, people. It is in the balance. These next 9 games are going to be absolutely huge for Arsenal. Preach says Buenos Aires. Guna, big up, bro. Scar says, respect, Big Kurt. It's my B-day, so I'm sending a shout out. Jumped on the 40 bus. Hey, happy birthday, bro. They say life begins at 40, man. So, hey, get going, get started, man. And appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day. And there's no Arsenal game today, so they won't spoil your birthday anyway. So, hey, big up this. Big up on your birthday. Big 40th as well. Out of all comps and Prem only, Chelsea won the league in the same situation. A lot of that is down to the investment, though. Let's be honest, man. Chelsea, their squad is built to win the league, and they're not even winning it, but they won the Champions League. They smoked Newcastle like a blunt. Yeah, and we haven't battered many teams this season. I feel like we need to prove a point against Brighton. Go and beat them 3-4-0, 5-0. Connor said, I reckon Aubameyang was in the same situation Kane was in. Mindset management, and we just panic and throw our players away. Because Kane was not connecting with Nuno. And I think that was a big problem. When Conte came through the door, I think Kane lifted his game. I think the manager said, come on, I'm here now. No more messing about with Nuno. I'm going to make things happen this season. It's no coincidence Kane has stepped his game up since Conte turned up. Ian White said, hey, big up to you, bro, for becoming a member. Appreciate your support. Like I said, member stream 4:30 today. Get involved. Give me your opinions, people. Scar said, respect for that. Big up, bro. Happy birthday. Oz said, it's all falling apart. Arteta should not get a pass if he's not able to get top 4. I think 4th will be harder to get next year than this year. City and Liverpool, we don't even think about them. They're gone. We can't even see them with a telescope. Chelsea, I still think they'll be ahead of us, you know. Their squad is so strong. They got a very good manager. You got Conte's going to get money this summer. He already, you know, you look at the 2 signings he made in January, they've both made a difference, Bentancur and Kulusevski. And then you look at United, if they get Ten Hag, go and spend 180 million, go and get rid of some of the deadwood, you know, that top 4th spot's going to be even harder to get next season. So we got to take advantage this season. Clement said we should beat Brighton on Saturday and score goals doing it. After that, we have 8 cup games left in the season. No excuses. No, and we play Southampton away next week, which isn't easy. But if we're going to get top 4, we've got to go and beat them. Fabrizio has announced Liverpool have signed Fabio Carvalho, very good player. I know they nearly signed him in January from Fulham, but I think the feeling was leave him at Fulham, let him develop, and let him win the title. They're top of the league. So, yeah, good signing. Listen, this is what clubs do. When you know what situation you're going to be in, you can go and sign players this early. Arsenal can't do that because the players we're looking at are going to say, get back to me when we know what competition you're in. You know, but this guy's very highly rated young player. Yeah, just seen it. 5 million plus 2.7 million in add-ons. I mean, it's peanuts, absolute peanuts. So Liverpool signed Fabio Carvalho. Harish said, if we had replaced Aubameyang, we would be 4th comfortably. I agree. Even if a striker had come in and scored 5-6 goals from January, we'd be 6 points better off, I would say. 2 wins better off. We'd be probably a point behind Chelsea, ahead of Spurs, better goal difference, 100% if we'd signed a goal scorer. 0-0 at Burnley and games like that. A top striker wins you them games. Enos said, it's my birthday, Big C. Blessings on blessings. Hey, big up yourself. Not Enos, though. Not Stanley Kroenke. But, yeah, if it's your birthday, big up. Replace Laka for Eddie replace for Laka and Eddie is Nunes and Lewandowski if we get top 4. Hope Barca don't steal Lewa. Yeah, I can't see us getting both of them, I'll be honest. I can't see us getting both of them. If we got one of them two, I'd be happy. Should we look at Tammy Abraham? Aggressive, always looking for the ball. They want 80 million for him. And he's not worth 80 million. I got to be honest. Tree Trunk said the business that Liverpool do is crazy. Michael Edwards, mate. Michael Edwards and Klopp, they're clued up. They plan, they get it done. They don't mess about. Cody Mystified said, we spent 150 million and cleared out the wage bill. We're still getting battered by mid-table clubs, while very few Prem teams look top tier. How much realistically do we need to spend to be competing? I think this summer, Arsenal need to get around 200 million. Last summer, it was quantity. This summer needs to be quality. And that's not disrespecting the players that we bought. But we bought a number of players. We bought 5 or 6 players, I think. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Tavares, Lokonga, Odegaard. 6 players for 150. This year, I would say for 200 million, we need to be buying like 4 players because the standards of that player needs to go up. We need a 60 million pound striker, 45 million pound centre midfielder, maybe a 25 million pound centre midfielder, maybe a 20 million pound backup striker, maybe a 20 million pound left back, 30 million to compete with Kieran Tierney, you know, probably a right back possibly as well, maybe a centre back. We're going to need a lot, we're going to need a lot. So I think close to 200 million this summer, just for us to be anywhere near those teams above us. We need that magic. We need that star quality. We need more match winners. I don't think Arsenal have enough match winners in their team. And that's what I think we need to add this summer, that actual star quality. Bowler TV said we need 2 strikers, 1 defensive midfielder, 1 left back and 1 right back. Yeah, I mean, I think we need 2 centre midfielders, if I'm being honest, because El Nenny's going to go on a free. Xhaka could go. Even if he doesn't, I would still go for 2. We may even need a winger if Pepe goes as well, You trust Edu with 200 million? No, I don't. Not at all. Not at all. Don't trust him. Kai Garrity said, breaking news, Big C. UEFA have announced new financial fair play rules, no salary cap, but clubs not allowed to spend more than 70% of their revenues. Interesting. No more defensive midfielders. And my own Eddie said, bye, boys. You've been here long enough, Mo. You've been here long enough. Right, couple bits and bobs to go on to, then we'll get out of it. It's going to be a shorter show today. Probably about 50 minutes. This one is head loss for me. This one is head loss. Story came out yesterday that Kieran Tierney. Let me you know what? Let me take my badge off this so you can see this in the corner. Kieran Tierney has been struggling with his knee injury for a number of weeks, but had been able to continue playing through it. After returning from international duty and feeling discomfort in training, he underwent a scan and that revealed the extent of the damage. Now, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. But this is an absolute shambles. This is a shambles. I was upset when I thought he'd gone on international duty and just got injured. It happens. Maybe we shouldn't have let him play both games. But you're telling me these men knew he had a knee injury that he'd been playing through for weeks and they'd been managing it. It's an international break. The man's got 2 friendlies that don't mean anything apart from personal pride. You got to take Kieran Tierney in the office on the Friday before he goes with Scotland and say, Kieran, I know you're a man that takes great pride in playing for your country, but we're in the biggest top 4 race we've been involved in for years. We desperately need you available. They're 2 friendlies. They've got the qualifiers in the summer. Pull out of the Scotland squad. They've got Robertson, who plays left back. Stay at Arsenal, rest your knee for 2 weeks, and then give us 9 games until the end of the season. Once the season finishes, go and play for Scotland and go and try and qualify for the World Cup. But we need you until the end of the season. These men allowed him to go and play for his country and play both games that were friendlies, and the man mashed up his knee and he's out for the season. So I'm sorry, but these are the kind of decisions that give me head loss with our management team at Arsenal. You think Jurgen Klopp would have done this? Trent had a slight knock. Guess what happened? Pulled him out of the squad. Came back for Liverpool as soon as the Champions League came back. This is unbelievable. And Mikel Arteta's press conference is tomorrow. I want to hear one person ask him about this, please. One of them people in that press conference. Ask Mikel Arteta, why was Kieran Tierney allowed to play 2 games for Scotland when you knew he was managing a knee injury that he's had for weeks? Listen, I get it. Kieran Tierney would have been desperate to play for Scotland. You can see the amount of pride he takes in playing football, right? He didn't need to play. I'm sure he would have understood. We pay the man nearly £100,000 a week. Yeah, he should have understood that you've got to put your club before your country here. Scotland, that wasn't a World Cup qualifier. They could have got through a couple of friendlies without him. So for me, that's an absolute shambles from Arsenal, from Arteta, from Edu, from the medical staff. Shambles. Absolute shambles. And these are the kind of things that can cost Arsenal top 4. Because let's face it, everyone who plays against Arsenal between now and the end of the season, what are they going to say? Get at the Arsenal left back, whether it's Xhaka, Saka, Tavares. If you're playing against Arsenal right now, I'm saying get at their left back. He don't want it. He don't want it. Every right winger is going to be rubbing his hands together when he plays against Arsenal. That, for me, is an absolute disgrace. You know, that's like Drogba. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, people. That is a shambles. Absolute shambles from this football club. I thought they'd learnt over the years. You know, Arsene Wenger used to do silly things like this. Allow players to go on international duty, got injured. The man's injured. He's not 100% fit. He's fighting his way through game to game. And you let the man go and travel and play 2 friendlies for Scotland. Now he's out for the season. I mean, listen, we don't even know how long he's out for yet. Let's be honest. He could be out for more. He could be out for more. He may miss the start of next season. You know, we don't know yet. They haven't even revealed the time frame yet. So, but they won't ask him in the press conference. You know, they'll ask him if he's going to have a cup of tea with Graham Potter or a cup of coffee with Graham Potter after the game. Elliot said, Curtis, you know the press Won't ask about Tierney tomorrow. They are spineless and desperate for their jobs. I mean, that should be a standard question. Mikel, with us finding out that Kieran Tierney was struggling with a knee injury, why did you allow him to go and play 2 friendlies for Scotland? First question. But they won't ask him that. Mikel, with Alexander Lacazette not scoring in his last 16 Premier League games from open play, do you regret not buying a striker to replace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in January? Question 2. Mikel, with Gabriel Martinelli just being called up for the Brazil squad and confidence being sky high, also playing against a 30-year-old Nathaniel Klein at right back, do you regret playing Smith Rowe ahead of Gabriel Martinelli left wing on Monday? Question 3. But you won't hear any of them 3 questions because they'd ban you from the press conference if you asked any of them 3. And that's the ridiculous thing about Arsenal press conferences. Nobody asks the questions that you really want to know. Question 4. You've told us for the last 4 weeks that Tomiyasu is close to a return. However, we've now been told he's out for another 2 weeks. What is actually going on regarding his injury? The fans want to know. Question 4. But they're never going to do this. They're going to ask him, oh, how do you bounce back from Monday? Oh, we have to show togetherness. We have to pull together, blah, blah, blah. All the typical stuff that we know already. Were you surprised by it? Yes, because we've been so good over the last few months. I really didn't see a performance. What have you done to enable the players to recover? Oh, we've trained hard. We've spoke about it and we're focused on the weekend. Can you bounce back? Yes, we can. Nonsense, absolute nonsense, the lot of it. Love to see all the usual suspects on Twitch. Big up Snake Eyes. P said, question 5, what hair gel do you use, Mick? Is that Brill cream you're using? M Smiley said, question 5, why are you a cone man? What syrup do you put on your waffles, Mikel? Ah, dear. Give a shout out to Penalty Spot on YouTube, following his channel on Twitch, DJ Wisp33. Oh, big up the man himself. Penalty Spot's on Twitch, yeah, big up. I know he used to be a music DJ as well. Big up Dre as well, who I know DJs on Twitch as well, man. So yeah, man, big up yourselves. We have pace, but we don't use it. Curtly Shreves, listen, they'll never let me in that press conference. I'll be banned after 1. Simple as that. Anthony said, question 6, Lego, oh my God. You know generic nonsense is coming in press conference reaction tomorrow. They won't ask him anything about that. Yeah, man, here's Dre. Go and follow him on Twitch and follow Penalty Spot as well. Them man are dropping music on there and DJing and all sorts of people. So go and support the community people. Right, couple other bits and then we'll be out of here, people. That Kieran Tierney one has vexed me, I can't lie. Man's playing injured and you let him go on international duty. He comes back with his knee mashed up. Yeah, cheers for that one, mate. Cheers. Really appreciate that one. And Arsenal apparently have found a replacement. Don't worry, no need to panic, people. No need to panic. We have a new left back. I'm not gonna diss this guy before he ever plays for us, but I'm just saying, is this really the answer? So they're feeding this out there to the press, so that if this happens, we're already prepared for it. Arsenal left-back Lino Souza is continuing to catch the eye of the first-team staff, including Mikel Arteta. Football London understands 17-year-old Souza provided an assist for Rob Holding in the friendly against Brentford last week. I noticed they didn't put Brentford B either, but it was Brentford B. So it seems, people, they're trying to butter us up for a 17-year-old. We signed him in January from West Brom. He's a young player. He's played under 23s. This is no disrespect to him. He may be a very talented youngster. But what I'm saying is, so what does that mean for Nuno Tavares then? The guy that you signed for 8 million that you told us was good enough. You're now going to draw for a 17-year-old that's never played for the first team that we signed from West Brom 6 months ago. And what, you gonna play him against Man United? Is he ready to play against Man United in a few weeks? Is he ready to go to Stamford Bridge and play against Chelsea, Champions League winners? Because you could ruin this kid's career before he's even ready to start it. I'm not sure at a time like this we should be drawing for a 17-year-old defender that hasn't made his debut yet. the man got an assist on the training ground against Brentford's youth team. I don't think that's the level that we need to be looking at right now. We spent 150 million last summer. We should not be in this position because one player's been injured. It's crazy. I don't know. This club just never ceases to amaze me, people. E. Ross said, how can we trust anything this club does? I tell you what, I can trust them to bring out new training kits every month. That's what I do trust them to do. Yeah, exactly. Lacazette scored a hat-trick in this same game. It didn't really mean anything on Monday night, did it? They think he's another Saka. Is this the time to throw him in? Like, I don't know. I don't see it. Anyone who's seen him, let me know. I'm not gonna cap. I have not seen this guy play 1 minute of football, so I can't tell you anything about him. AJ Gunner said the new Ashley Cole. They always say that, innit? Oh, it's the new this, the new that. Tammy said, Curtis, make it make sense. I wish I could. I need you guys to make it make sense because I don't understand. Fitz said, Chuckle Brothers settings, I'm afraid. Ruben said, you never know. He could be solid. He could. But he could also get ripped apart. And then what do you do? Take him off. And then who do you bring on? Nuno Tavares, the guy that you've took off twice in the last 2 games he started. And then what? You play a 17-year-old over him. The guy ain't going to have no confidence. In my opinion, and I said this yesterday on the show, people, when Tomiyasu's back, I would play Cedric at left back. But we know Tomiyasu ain't going to be back for at least 2 weeks. I think you've got no choice but to play Tavares at left back on Saturday. We're playing Brighton. Their wingers aren't great. It's probably a good opportunity to try and get Nuno's confidence up a little bit. If he plays, does okay, and we win the game, confidence rises a little bit. Go into Southampton the week after. For me, you can't play Xhaka at left back. He's too slow. And also, unbelievably, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but we're so bad in midfield without Partey. We need Granit Xhaka in midfield, which is just ridiculous that I even have to say that. Amari said Nuno Basaka. A lot of people saying play Saka at left back, which I get, and I can totally see why people would say that. I just don't think the manager will do that. I think he thinks that he's too important in the attack. And he doesn't trust Pepe. Because you're saying there, Chris, Saka left back, Pepe right wing. I could get my head around that because I think that would be fine. But I think he feels we need Saka in the attack. And I don't think he trusts Nicolas Pepe. Clement said, recall Ainsley. We can't play him now. The end of March, there's a date at the end of March. You cannot register a player after that date. He's considered a Roma player until the end of the season. So if we recalled him, he couldn't play. Curtis Shaw, 2022, we need Granit Xhaka. You know what I mean? I might as well just end the channel at that point when I have to say stupid things like that. That's where we're at right now, people. It's desperation. Ruben said, I have a weird feeling Tommy is done for the season. A lot of people have said that, you know. ECQ said, play Cedric left back, Ben White right back, Gabriel and Holding centre back. That's not too bad. You know what? I never thought of that. You could play Ben White at right back, Cedric left back. Do you know what? That's the first person I've seen suggest that. Big up yourself. I never thought of that. I mean, I don't like Rob Holding, and I don't really like Ben White at right back. But the only thing with that, the whole defence then, does it all become a mess? Because you got a right back at left back. You got centre-back at right-back, and you've got a poor centre-back playing next to Gabriel. So does that then mess up the whole dynamics of the back four? But I like that suggestion. I've never once thought of that. Big up ECQ, yeah, he dropping dimes on us there. That's not bad. Do we go 3 at the back? I mean, that would be what? Holding Gabriel, Ben White in a back 3. Maybe you play Tavares wing-back, Cedric the other side wing-back. I'm not sure. It's almost which one is worse. And you got a reshuffle midfield too, going to be a mess. For me, like I said, this Saturday, because we're playing Brighton, I don't think you got to go 3 at the back against Brighton. They're not great. I think stick with the 4. And I would honestly play Tavares. I know it seems crazy because you're thinking you can't play him after how bad he was the other day. But I think Cedric's playing all right. at right back. The two centre-backs were awful on Monday, but in general, they've been all right at centre-back. So at least then 3 of your back 4 is solid. Because we're at home, because we should dominate the ball, I think you can just about get away with him against Brighton. If Tierney's out for the whole season, but Tomiyasu's back in a couple of weeks, maybe we can get by with Tavares for 2 games. Man are saying put Lacazette at left back. I mean, he spends most of his time in defence anyway, so why not? 2 more injuries and it's complete chaos. Oh, bro, we're 1 or 2 injuries away from, you know, we might be hanging on to get Conference League if we get 1 or 2 more. I mean, a Saka or a... If we lost Granit Xhaka now, as crazy as that is, we're playing El Neni and Lokonga in midfield. Going to Stamford Bridge, going to West Ham, going to Tottenham. Welcome to the Conference League, that could be. You could see Man United, Tottenham and West Ham get ahead of us. So, but hey, let's just hope. Let's just hope. No more injuries, man. Welbeck will look world class at the weekend. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. He gets about 3 goals a season. And he'll probably look like a prime R9 against Arsenal. Left Bacazette, they're calling him. Play him centre mid, man, I'm telling you. Play him centre mid. Sambi and Patino in midfield. Well, we saw that at Nottingham Forest, mate. They got chewed up and spat out, to be honest. Kana said, even though the Conference League theme song, I believe they don't even have music. I don't even know if them games are on TV, mate. I don't even know. Are they even in stadiums? I don't know. I think they just play on a park. Imagine walking around with Conference League badges on them wavy new kits we've got coming out, man. Come on. Nah. Can't do that, people. Can't do that. King said, give Nuno 1 last chance at left back. Tell Xhaka to cover him. Play more defensive. We need to attack Brighton. They have been poor the last 14 games. I agree. What Xhaka has done well this season is he's tucked into that left side when Tierney has bombed on. You've got to find a way of protecting him better for this game. Whoever plays left wing, get back and help him. Get back and help him. Centre back, play closer to him. Keep him close. Xhaka tucks in. We've got to babysit him. We're literally babysitting him. Get the milk bottles ready and feed him, you know, and just look after him. Keep Brighton away from him. Occasionally he gets on the ball, he goes forward. You know, it's as simple as that. And then hopefully you go to Southampton next week and he can get away with it there. The week after, we play Chelsea and that's when we got to hope that Tomiyasu is back. Yeah, jumpers for goalpost business in the Conference League, man, I'm telling you. ECQ said White plays inverted, covers Holding plus Cedric for width. Listen, it's definitely an interesting one. And that wouldn't surprise me if Arteta went for that. Because he does like Rob Holding. And he has played Ben White at right back a few times. Lokonga ain't even bad. He's not bad, but he's not probably the answer right now. Yeah, you're right. We were calling him Bambi Lokonga at one stage. So he's not all that good either. He's not bad. He's a young player with potential. But in the situation we're in now, probably not ideal. I would play 4-2-3-1, which kind of becomes 4-3-3 anyway. So I would play Ramsdale, Cedric, Ben White, Gabriel, Tavares, Sambi Lokonga, Granit Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli up front. That would be my team on Saturday. I think that would beat Brighton. Brighton's defence is quite slow. Lewis Dunk and them, man, they're big, strong. They're not that quick. You play Martinelli, automatically you're putting them on the back foot because they know you got a player up there that can run past them for pace. You play Lacazette up there. If I'm a centre-back and Lacazette's up front, I'm thinking, this is going to be the easiest game of my life because this guy ain't going to come nowhere near me. And it's not like when he does get near me, he's going to trouble me anyway. Give him something to worry about. I'd play Martinelli up top. And I would give Smith Rowe another game because fair play to him. He is our top scorer and he does get in goal-scoring situations. Pepe's just coming back from illness, so maybe keep him and Lacazette on the bench. That's what I would play, people. El Neni and Sam... Oh, why did I not read that? I had it on the screen for about a minute and never read it. El Neni and Sambi, Dave, end the stream. No, we can't play them two. But listen, even Sambi and Xhaka is not great. Fitz said Vieira and Rodgers are the only managers to move us forward. Do you know what? There's a few. I'd take Mancini as well. Premier League winner, Euros winner. And I'm sure others will become available in the summer. Penalty Spot said, I feel like we have a team that is 1 year too early, too young. Problem is next year everyone else improves. We will be playing catch up for a while. 100%. 100%. Listen, a lot of people say, yeah, but we got the youngest squad in the league. That was by design. Arteta chose to do that. When you do that, there are major positives and major negatives. The major positives are you have a young group, they're hungry, they've got a point to prove, you don't have to pay them massive wages. They also become assets for the club if you ever need to sell. They're going to be more in value than what you bought them for. The negative of that situation, we saw it on Monday. Sometimes they look like a rabbit in the headlights where, Chet Kuyate and Zaha and Mateta and Anderson, big, strong, experienced players in a cauldron atmosphere. The youngsters couldn't handle it because they're not used to getting over the finish line. They're not used to winning a top 4 race, winning a trophy. They're just used to turning up and playing well. And some weeks they won't play well. And that's what Arsenal lack at the moment. It's winners, players that can get us over the line. So you could be right, And like you said, next year, yeah, they will improve, but the rest of the teams will improve. Listen, Zidane is somebody that I've always said I'd love to have at Arsenal, but I think his agent said when United were looking at him that he didn't want to come to the Prem. So, and I'm sure United would have paid him more than us. So I think Zidane's going to probably end up at PSG. Snake Eyes, Big C, do you honestly think we still have a chance of top 4? I think we have a chance, but I don't think we're favourites anymore. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't think we're favourites. And I'm not saying it because we lost to Palace. I think the injuries are more damaging than that defeat. I think losing Tierney for the season and Partey, we're still waiting to see how long he's going to be out for. I think those 2 injuries are more damaging than the 3-0 loss. So I would say we're not favourites because we don't have a goal scorer. We don't have a goal scorer. Everybody doubles up on Saka. People try and double up on Martinelli now as well. Lacazette is the one that probably gets a bit more space, but he's not going to punish anyone. You look at Tottenham at the moment, Kane's scoring, Son's scoring, Conte's fired up. They've got the easiest run. You got to make them favourites. And I know people don't want to hear that, and it's painful to listen to that. But I'm only saying what I believe at this moment. For us to get top 4, we're going to have to produce something special. We're going to have to beat Man United at home. We're going to have to go to Tottenham and at least get a draw. We're going to have to go to Chelsea and maybe get a draw as well. But listen, this weekend, maybe the dynamics change. We beat Brighton and hopefully Tottenham drop points at Villa. Villa are out of form, but we know Villa on their day at home can beat teams. Listen, if they beat Villa again, it puts the pressure back on us. We go to Southampton next week. Southampton is a tricky game, really. We don't have the best of records at Southampton. I mean, just looking ahead to next weekend, and I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I mean, Tottenham play Brighton at home next weekend. Now, and Manchester United play Norwich at home. So I would assume next weekend, Tottenham and Manchester United are going to win. We go to Southampton and we are going to be under pressure. So we need this weekend to go in our favour. Man United go to Everton. They can't buy a win at the moment. And Tottenham go to Villa. So we need teams to drop points, especially Tottenham. We need them to drop points at Villa. M10 Ren said, love Twitch, can watch the stream and use another app at the same time. Yeah, I believe you can only do that on YouTube if you're on YouTube Premium, which you have to pay extra for. Where Twitch, I know it stays open while you browse your phone, which, I mean, how are they not letting you do that on all apps nowadays is beyond me. So, yeah, listen, massive weekend coming up for Arsenal, that is for sure. And I'll probably stream both games, people. So, I don't think I'm going to stream the Man U Everton game. But I'll do the Arsenal game, and then we'll do Tottenham against Villa, which is the 5:30 kickoff. Of course, though, if we drop points against Brighton, I will not be streaming anything on Saturday, let me tell you that. But as long as we get the 3 points, what I expect, I will then go on and stream that game after. Shush said, thoughts on Ten Hag, I think is a good appointment for United. I'm not happy with that. I got to be honest, I wanted bottle job Poch to go to Man United. Ten Hag, I think, will produce a good rebuild. But listen, he could fail. He could fail. We've seen bigger and better managers fail. But he definitely gives them a chance, in my opinion. People, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. 1,450 of you in the chat. Make sure you lick down that like button on the way out. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. This stream was on Twitch and YouTube. We're approaching 1,000 followers on Twitch and 43,000 on YouTube. So follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all of that good stuff. 4:30 p.m. today, so in an hour and 10 minutes, we'll be doing a member stream. Make sure you join me for that. I'll put the link on the community page. And 7:45 tonight, West Ham versus Lyon watch along. That will be on Twitch and on YouTube as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Thank you for your support as always. And I'll see some of you in an hour for the member stream. If not, 7:45 for the watch along. Take care, people. Bless.